All right, guys, welcome back to another episode of Prospect Spotlight. And I don't think there's a better time to do a Prospect Spotlight on cornerback Cooper DeJean out of Iowa, a potential first-round draft selection by the Green Bay Packers. He just had his pro day testing yesterday, likely raising his draft stock yet again. So I figured, hey, let's dive down into Cooper DeJean as a prospect, break him down, and also go over some game film. Because I truly think Cooper DeJean can be an absolute weapon on a defense, primarily the Packers defense, the new Jeff Hafley defense, where someone like DeJean could literally play just about anywhere on that defense. Outside cornerback, nickel cornerback, deep at safety. I really do think he could do all three. And today's video further solidified that thought for me. And I would be ecstatic if the Packers were able to draft DeJean in the first round. Also, last week on Instagram, a post came out that DeJean was working out with Packers' first round pick from last year, Lucas Van Ness. So why not just add another first round Iowa defender to this defense? I do a prospect spotlight on a particular prospect every single week. Let me know down in the comments who you want me to do a spotlight on next. And if this type of video does interest you, along with everything else Green Bay Packers through draft content, salary cap, everything Packers news, you'll find it all here on this channel. Go down and click subscribe. All right, so the hot topic and really why I decided to do a Cooper DeJean video, a prospect spotlight, was yesterday he tested at his pro day. We know DeJean didn't test at the combine due to his injury. He just got cleared from injury. So this makes this even more impressive because he just got cleared from injury and he still tested very, very well. So bringing up his RAS now from yesterday, Cooper DeJean's official RAS is 9.89. We see his height just over 6 foot, weight 203 pounds, bench rep 16. So in terms of size, he 100% fits that Packers threshold. He's around 200 pounds. He's 6 foot or more. So that's definitely not a problem in terms of what the Packers typically draft at cornerback. Then we look at explosion grade. It is great. He has an amazing vertical of 38.5 inches. That's the great grade there. Broad jump, not amazing, but still above average at 10'4". Then yesterday, he ran his pro day 40-yard dash in 4.43 seconds. 20-yard split, 10-yard split, also great as well. Just showcasing the overall great athlete that Cooper DeJean is. He doesn't really wow you with one category, but all across the board, as we see here, composite speed, size, and explosion, all great. Now, he didn't test the 3-cone or the shuttle. And I quickly wanted to go over this. They also switched him to free safety to test his RAS, and it's still a 9.67, but then it switched to elite speed because safeties generally aren't that fast. Explosion still great, and size still good. Not great anymore because usually you want a safety to be a little bit heavier than 203 pounds, but it's still good at 6 foot 203. All right, so now let's go over DeJean's profile over here on PFF. He's listed as 6'1". We know he's 6 foot, 207. He's a junior, 21 years old. If you look at every single past first-round draft pick in the past, 10 years, they're all right around 21 to 22 years old outside of Devonte Wyatt. So there's an ongoing theme there, and I think Devonte Wyatt was a luxury pick because they had 2 first rounds that year. Quay Walker was still, I believe, 21. So Cooper DeJean also fits that age threshold for a Packers first round pick. And as we see here, the bottom line, it says the talk of DeJean playing outside cornerback or safety or slot cornerback at the next level is not due to a lack of a home position. It's because he could truly be an impact player anywhere. His footwork, ball skills, and explosive athleticism make him an impactful outside cornerback, one with all-pro potential. And then on the right here, DeJean played mostly outside cornerback for Iowa over the past 2 years. He checks the size boxes for the position and brings top-tier natural athleticism. His footwork is quick and controlled. His back pedal and shuffling are smooth. His stop and start speed are good for his size, and his ball skills are elite. Wrap all that up with a bow of high football IQ and instincts. He doesn't have much experience in press coverage, but can succeed in that role. DeJean is likely the best run defending cornerback in the class. There aren't many holes, if any, in his game. And I'm glad it said something about press coverage, because I've seen that here and there where, he's just a cover 3 cornerback, an off zone cornerback, which Iowa does run a lot, right? Like, he played the right side of the field every single time, and a lot of the time he was in cover 3 off zone. But watching his film, which I'll show you some examples today, I think he's more than capable of playing press man or off man. I think he has the physicality, the athleticism. I think he's way more than capable. So when I read reports saying, oh, he's not going to be able to play man or press man, I think I just laugh at it at this point, because he definitely can. So now going over his stats last year, obviously he was cut short with that broken leg. Something I'm not really worried about. That's not a lingering issue by any mean in terms of injuries usually. 77.4 PFF grade last year. He didn't allow a touchdown. He had 2 interceptions. He allowed a quarterback rating of 37.8 on 20 receptions on 46 targets. So really low completion percentage rate for opposing quarterbacks. The year before that was an even better year, an 88.5 PFF grade. Was targeted 72 times, but only allowed 37 receptions. Of course, playing in 3 more games. Allowed 2 touchdowns, but had 5 interceptions and allowed a quarterback rating of 49.7. We see last year's coverage grade, 76.8. Run defense grade, 78.6. Completion percentage, like I said, very low, 43.5%. That's very, very low for cornerbacks. Man coverage grade, 63.7. Again, I'll show you some clips from that I think he's more than capable. 6 forced incompletions, 5 coverage stops, only 5 missed tackles. So a very secure tackler, as it stated. Definitely one of the better, if not the best, run defending cornerbacks in this draft class. That's why a lot of people, myself included, see him as a nickel corner at the NFL level. Like, he'll be very, very good there. And the snaps by alignment, as they stated, he mainly just played outside cornerback the last 2 years. You know, he was great at that as well. Just an outside Iowa cover 3, right? Cornerback. We know they love to run that scheme, and Cooper DeJean ran it really well, so he played out there, but I think he could have literally played anywhere. So outside, 630 snaps last year, 553 the year before that. Barely any slot snaps the last 2 seasons, a little bit more in 2022. He only has 1 deep snap at safety over the last 3 seasons. But again, a lot of people say, hey, he could go back and play safety. I think he could, but to me, he's going to be at his best at one of the cornerback spots. If you run primarily cover 3, I think, yeah, you could put him outside. If you want more of a physical presence, a great tackler, someone who is athletic and physical at the nickel, which the Packers 100% need, Cooper DeJean is your guy, and that's where I see him plugging into the NFL level. Let's quickly go over the pros and cons here. Pros: great size for a cornerback, stout in run defense, quick, controlled footwork, and his back pedal allows him to veer and break exactly how he needs to. Good instincts and football IQ, communicates and observes the whole field pre-snap and post-snap. Impressive ability to flip his hips and accelerate for his size. Has natural athletic ability to play press. Glad they put that in here. Ample special teams experience as a gunner and returner. Yeah, he has been a great returner at Iowa the last 2 seasons in terms of punt return. Last year, he had 241 punt return yards and a touchdown. The year before that, 165 punt return yards. So if the Packers were to draft DeJean, he could start at punt return as well as a depth cornerback piece, or wherever you really want to put him. We know the Packers have Keyshawn Nixon for kick return, but they're kind of experimenting with Jaden Reed back there last year, and they didn't want to put Nixon back there too often. So if they were to draft someone like DeJean, now you also have a punt returner. And in terms of his cons, there's only 2 here. Only 199 snaps in press, less than 25% over the past 2 years. I don't see that as a con. It's just the Iowa defensive scheme. Like, he can't do anything about that. When he was in press, I thought he was impressive. Also, change of direction / acceleration when he's fully flipping his hips can be slow because of his size. All right, so now let's dive down into the film. And on this first clip, DeJean at the top of the screen. Again, he always plays on the right side of the field, at least the 3 games I watched from 2023. He's going to be an off man here. It's going to be a quick slant. The ball is tipped at the line of scrimmage, but I'm more so watching DeJean's breakdown on this ball here and then getting physical into the wide receiver there, which is exactly what you want to see from a breakdown on a off man type of coverage. Again, the ball's tipped at the line of scrimmage, as you'll see better here at this angle. But again, I'm more so just looking at the breakdown from DeJean here. If the ball wasn't tipped, I still think DeJean breaks it up, or even more so has an interception here. So as we see here, off man, quick slant, DeJean quickly realizes that, breaks down, gets physical into that wide receiver, and still breaks up that tipped pass. So here's a clip of a run defense tackle, and we have a few of these in today's video. Again, DeJean at the top of the screen here, kind of in a press man look. It's going to be a run to the right side, and DeJean makes a tackle like a linebacker, and this is why a lot of people say he is the best tackling, run defending cornerback in this draft class, and you can see why. The guy doesn't shy away from going downhill to make a tackle. A lot of cornerbacks do, and they call it a business business decision, right? DeJean really doesn't have that in his vocabulary. You see him read, react, attack this run, contain outside, and pretty much just lift and drop this ball carrier for really no gain there. Very impressive rep by an outside cornerback here to come downhill and make this tackle. I'll play it once through at this angle once more. Really nice tackle there as well. So here's one of the few press man reps that I have. We see DeJean on the outside. Press man, it's going to be a 9 by the wide receiver. And DeJean does a good job getting his hands on the wide receiver, but also closing him out to the sideline. So he's limiting the space that the wide receiver has, which is exactly what you should be doing in this situation. It's an incomplete ball. You would like to see DeJean kind of get his eyes around at the end there, maybe make a better play on the ball, but nonetheless, he's just closing that gap between the wide receiver, showcasing his speed, and just boxing him out, just forcing him to that sideline, and the receiver has no room to make that catch. The receiver has a good effort there, but nonetheless, it's just a very difficult catch to make when DeJean's already pretty much pushing you outside of that sideline. So again, a nice press man rep there. Here's another very impressive run defense rep by DeJean. Again, he's always on the right side, even though the strong side is on the left here. He's going to play basically inside, and this is like one of those showcases where it's, hey, he's going to be an excellent nickel cornerback at the NFL level. It's going to be a designed quarterback run to the right here, and DeJean's going to get blocked by a swing right tackle here and still get around him and still contain the edge and make the tackle for loss on this quarterback, or at least back to the line of scrimmage. Here's another angle of it. So this right tackle swings out and by all means should have no problem blocking Cooper DeJean and allowing his quarterback to hit the edge there and run in for 6. But DeJean does an excellent job still containing that edge, using his strength to get outside of that right tackle and make the tackle on the quarterback there. Very, very impressive. Here's another run defense, and it's pretty much a very similar look. DeJean playing down low on the right side, and he's going to end up being the free rusher on this counter run by Wisconsin to Braylon Allen, and he just has free reign to tackle Braylon Allen in the backfield. And albeit Braylon Allen, I mean, he's a 245, 250-pound running back, not an easy guy to bring down. And although he's, doesn't have much of a head start there, and DeJean's already in the backfield before he can take a couple steps, that's still impressive to make a nice wrap-up tackle on someone like Braylon Allen and make it look very, very easy. Here's one of my favorite press man reps from DeJean here. We see him at the top of the screen, inside shade on this wide receiver, saying, hey, I don't want you to run an inside route, and this receiver has to run an inside route. He's going to be running a dig here, and DeJean does an awesome job just playing physical with this receiver, rerouting him inside. Receiver shouldn't be working to his leverage there. So also the receiver didn't do a great job at trying to, move DeJean off his platform. He just played to his leverage, which is what you shouldn't do as a wide receiver. But we're looking at DeJean here, and he does an excellent job at being physical, getting his hands on the wide receiver, sticking him at the top of the route, and there's just no chance at that ball being fit in there. And if it was, it would be a pass breakup or an interception or it's just an incomplete pass. Really nice job there by DeJean. Again, the receiver didn't do a great job at trying to sell vertical or flip DeJean's hips and played into DeJean's leverage, but nonetheless a nice press rep. Here's another one, and pretty much the same thing. I'm sure it's the same wide receiver because he just simply doesn't know what to do against inside shade here when he's got to run an inside route. But same thing, press man, inside shade. Don't know why that receiver is taking an inside release and just completely getting rerouted there by DeJean. But again, it just showcases DeJean's physicality, his ability to get his hands on a wide receiver without drawing a flag or holding. He's simply just being physical at the point of attack at the top of the route, rerouting that wide receiver. I don't even know if that was supposed to be a drag, a crosser. It was probably supposed to be a dig, but he really couldn't run that because DeJean's right in his face, has his hands on him, rerouting him, playing to his leverage, which he should be, showcasing another great press man rep. Here's going to be another man-on-man rep, but it's going to be a run play. DeJean's going to, follow his wide receiver because he's man-on-man until he assesses that it's a run, get off the receiver, come in, and make a nice little diving tackle there to get low on that running back and bring him down. So again, he's man-on-man, so he doesn't really know this is a run until he, turns his head and sees that it is. But again, he's not going to be a cornerback that shies away from contact that you see in the NFL nowadays. He likes contact, which is a great thing, and you see him get down there and make, a diving tackle. It's not a wrap-up tackle, but nonetheless, good execution of that. I'll let it play once more here. Just an impressive tackle there from DeJean. And the final clip I have of DeJean is in the same game, and it's going to be an interception. He's going to be in off zone in cover 3 here, and it's not going to be a great ball. It's definitely not a great pass. A little bit of a stutter by the wide receiver. DeJean isn't phased, overthrown, but at the same time, I really have no idea what what that receiver is doing, kind of like stopping at the top there. He should have continued that deep ball, but he just kind of like shaded inside or played inside for some reason. But this isn't about the wide receiver yet again. It's about DeJean making a play on this ball, and he looks like a wide receiver running this route. Like, if you didn't see who threw it, you would assume White is a cornerback and DeJean's a wide receiver making an excellent catch in the back of the end zone there. And DeJean honestly probably could play some offensive snaps, if I'm being honest. I mean, when he has the ball in his hand, he's explosive. You see it on punt returns. Very similar to a Keyshawn Nixon, where it's like there could be packages on offense for this guy, right? But nonetheless, great play on the ball. He is a ball hawk, great ball skills and ability to, make that impressive catch in the back of the end zone, get his feet down, secure that catch. Like I said, it looks like he was running the route for the wide receiver. So those are all the clips I have from Cooper DeJean. Just went through 3 games from 2023. I didn't dive too much down into 2022. A lot of the clips that I showed today really showcase DeJean. You don't really need to go that much more into it. There were some clips that I didn't show in today's video that I watched, just more so showcasing his natural ability in a cover 3 in a deep zone switch ability, kind of the boring stuff, right? But he does it all very well. So the bottom line is this: I would be very ecstatic with the Packers selecting Cooper DeJean in the first round of the 2024 draft. After the pro day yesterday, they might have to trade up to do so. I think DeJean could go right around pick 20. He's kind of always at that mark. This pro day just furthermore solidifies that, and hey, he's ready to play in 2024. He's still a great athlete, right? So I think other teams are going to be very interested in him. He could even go before someone like Nate Wiggins. But I think once Arnold and Quinyon Mitchell are off the board, that's going to become that time where the Packers might go, hey, we need to trade up maybe to 18, 19, 20 to go up and get Cooper DeJean, if they are indeed interested in him. And I think they are. I really do think they are, because he can play so many different positions, outside, inside, safety, if you really needed him to. But I think he's going to be his best at a nickel cornerback, exactly what the Packers need more of right now. A physical, athletic nickel cornerback that can come down and make a run stop and whatnot, something Keyshawn Nixon really struggled with last year. But I want to know your thoughts down in the comments below. Would you be happy with Cooper DeJean as a first-round draft pick for the Green Bay Packers? Let me know down in the comments below. But I appreciate you guys coming by to the video. If you could, please leave a like. It also supports the channel a ton. Thank you guys so much for all the endless support. But I'll catch you on the next one. And as always, go Pack Go.